Working on a Simplex steam locomotive, part 44, tidying up some solder on one of the side tanks, a different arrangement for the snifting valve, making a new blower pipe assembly and a shaped brass plate to partially seal the hole in the bottom of the smoke box. This lump of soft solder has been annoying me for a while. It's right at the front of the right hand side tank where I soldered the half round beading back in place. Now it's time to remove this unsightly blob, and to do that I'm using a rotary wire brush as shown here. As I've mentioned before, this shape of wire brush is by far the most convenient. When using it in the Proxxon motor tool I can get right into the corners, and the other good thing is it doesn't shed many bristles. If you've been following this series you will realise that I fitted the snifting valve through the side of the smoke box, in a place where I shouldn't have fitted it, right in the way of the dummy steam pipes that come up towards the smoke box itself. I've had a much better idea for the snifting valve. I'm relocating it so it can draw in air from underneath the smoke box. I'll need to fit an extension pipe to it, and I'll show that shortly. I bent the original piece of pipe and I never expected it to work, but at least to know how to bend the next piece of pipe to get the same angle. More about that later in the episode. Now it's time to remove the original piece of pipe that connects to the snifting valve. It's badly kinked and no good at all for the job. I'm going to make a new piece of pipe to connect the snifting valve to the wet header. By looking at the old pipe, and that's the one that's covered in felt tip pen marks, I can get a good idea how the new one needs to fit. This piece of pipe is not yet correctly bent, but once I've silver soldered the unions on the end of it, the ends will be very soft and I can bend them further. After the silver soldering, the pipe on the left is ready to clean up, but before I do that I'm going to do a test fit. And the best way to make sure it fits is to fasten it at both ends, one end to the snifting valve and the other end to the wet header. Then finally, with the help of a piece of steel bar, I can bend the pipe into the correct position without kinking it. Now the snifting valve points downwards instead of out of the side of the smoke box. The next part of the job involves making a 1/4 inch pipe extension that will go through the bottom of the smoke box. And after silver soldering, the extension pipe looks like this. I think it will be better than the original idea. I noticed that in the early stages of steaming the engine on the bench, quite a lot of water ran out of the snifting valve onto the running boards. But now this won't happen, as any water coming out of the snifting valve will just run down the extension pipe onto the ground. Here you can see very clearly the general arrangement. Now it's time to make a proper blower. This is the new one that I'm making, and the first thing to do is to take a piece of 5/32 of an inch copper pipe and anneal it, heat it to fairly bright red and then quench it in water. This makes the copper pipe very soft and it's really easy to bend it into more or less any shape you want. And the copper pipe bends very easily and doesn't kink at all. I bend it to the shape that I require around a piece of brass. Just a bit of scrap that I found in my scrap brass box. After turning it into this shape, I use the bandsaw to cut it at an angle. Now I need to persuade the cut piece to touch the main piece of the copper. And for this I'm using a hammer, but not just any hammer. This is a rubber hammer. It's very important. If you use anything harder than rubber, you will flatten the edge of the piece of copper pipe. After silver soldering, it looked like this. I'm using a small drum sander in the Proxxon motor tool just to clean up the soldered part. Here's the new one. I just need to drill the holes in it, which is nothing of a job. For now though, I'm going to temporarily fit the blower in position. And what I'm doing here is checking that I can get access to every tube with a flue brush. Sometimes parts can get in the way of this operation and you end up with one flue tube that is always inaccessible for cleaning. The first thing I need to do is remove the superstructure and the boiler, so here I'm disconnecting the blower that I made, followed by undoing the large nut which holds the steam pipe from the superheater element to the inlet pipe of the cylinders. And that is it, the boiler is free to be removed. The first thing to go though needs to be the superstructure, the tanks and the cab assembly. I've rebuilt this structure and I resoldered the spectacle plate, but now it's quite rigid. It will not just lift off the boiler because there are two pipes sticking out of the tank at each side. I need to evolve some sort of a successful technique for refitting and any subsequent removals of the superstructure once the boiler is painted. Initially the superstructure was very weak and the tanks flopped about, but now they are actually quite rigid. Now I need a piece of cardboard. Here it is. I'm going to make a template to fit around the piping. Quite a few viewers have written in and asked me how I was going to seal the large hole in the bottom of the smoke box. Well, this is the first part of how I'm going to do it. I've made a template and as you can see it fits over the piping, but it's still a bit too big. I thought it would be a good idea to make sure that the snifting valve extension pipe fits in this as well, which it does. Now I know that everything fits and the template is okay, I can make what I'm going to term the primary cover plate. Once I make the primary cover plate and curve it using a piece of brass, it will fit in the bottom of the smoke box like this. To copy the shape of the cardboard template onto a piece of brass, I use my usual deep hole marker pen. All I have to do now is drill a large hole in the centre of this piece of brass. I'm going to begin this sequence with a serious health and safety warning. You must never hold small pieces of metal in your hands when you drill them. If the drill grabs, the piece of metal is likely to spin round. Okay, it probably wouldn't with such a small drill like this, but it would with a larger drill, and as it spins round, taking you completely by surprise, by the time you remove your hand, you will be bleeding. As you can clearly see in this clip, I'm holding the metal with a pipe wrench. Merging the holes into one was not successful with the small drill, so I used a pair of wire cutters. And in no time at all, I could remove the centre part. Another health and safety warning, do not leave small pieces of this either on the floor or on the bench. Put it in your scrap metal box or just in the bin. The next part of the job is cleaning up the hole that I've made in the piece of brass, and for this, as usual, I'm using a drum sander fitted to my small Proxxon motor tool. Now it's time to take the plate over to the bandsaw and cut it to the correct shape. You will notice that I'm completely ignoring the lines that I drew on the plate anyway. After cutting the plate to the right size, I need to bend it, and for that I'm using my small pair of bending rollers that fit in the vise. It should be obvious why I didn't bend this plate first, for two reasons. One, it would have made it difficult to drill all the holes, and now most of the brass has been removed, it's very easy to bend it. And this clip shows how it's going to fit in the bottom of the smoke box. Now some viewers will be thinking, but there's still a great big hole in the bottom, so what's the point in making this plate? The answer is, this plate will be fixed into the bottom of the smoke box using heat-resistant silicone rubber. I will then make two shorter plates that fit each side of the piping, and this will be quite accurate. And with the help of some more heat-resistant silicone rubber sealant, all holes in the smoke box will be sealed. In my early years, reading the works of LBSC in the Model Engineer magazine, I always remember that he used to say, break up some asbestos millboard and knead it into a putty using water, and that will seal the holes in the smoke box where the pipes go through. That, of course, was many years ago, before the world knew just how dangerous asbestos could be. And that's it for this episode. Stay healthy, thanks for watching, and I hope you found it useful. Please take the time to visit my Mainsteam Models website and click on the section of the website that says Video Playlists. And by doing that, you can find other videos that you may like to watch. And by using the playlists, you can actually watch the videos back to back.